Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about hair growth tips. Probably my biggest question after what is my hair colour, which is something that I get asked every single day, is how do I grow my hair so quick, especially when I colour it all the time and it goes through so much chemical processing. How do I keep it healthy? How do I manage to grow my hair so quick? And yeah, today I'm going to sit down and go through 10 little tips that I do all the time, and I truly believe that these little tips make a big difference to the way my hair grows and the condition of my hair, and they're just like small daily things. So those of you who have been watching me for a long time will know that I always colour my hair. My hair hasn't been my natural hair colour since I was about 14 or 15, which is a lot of chemical processing and a lot of damage, and my hair generally grows pretty quickly. First of all, I think it's down to genes. My hair is quite thick, and even though maybe like 3 years ago I had like a bleaching disaster and I had a lot of breakage, it did grow out really quickly, which I'm very thankful for. Last night I actually wrote down a list on my phone of the little things that I do since my hair snapped and bricked like 3 years ago. The little things that I do daily that contributes to kind of like the hair growth and keeping my hair healthy. First of all, can we talk about how pretty this jumper is? I got it at the weekend. I'll link it down below in the information box, but it's got these frills on the side. It's so pretty. It just makes a chunky autumn winter kind of like knitwear look more classy and stylish. It's yeah, I love it. So this is my hair currently. About a year ago my hair was actually a long bob, so my hair has grown a decent amount since. It's gone from being a long bob to a long hairstyle, I guess. It's past my boobs, so it's pretty long now. So let's get into the tips that I want to share with you guys today. First of all, wash your hair less. And I used to wash my hair every couple of days and sometimes even daily, and I'm sure a lot of you guys understand when you wash your hair you lose hair. So just by restricting the amount of times you wash your hair means you're actually losing less hair over a course of time. So if I washed my hair 5 times a week, then I'm losing 5 lots of hair every time I wash it. But now I only wash my hair twice a week, which means I'm only losing my hair twice a week, which is a lot less. You still lose hair when you wash it. It's kind of just like the normal thing. So tip number 2 is to use less hair products, which kind of ties into tip number 1, because if you're using less hair products, there's less build up, you don't need to wash it as often. Whereas if I'm going to like style my hair and put hairspray, put wax, put texturizing spray in to create a hairstyle, I feel like the next time I go out or do my hair I have to wash it because there's so much product build up. But just by using less hair products mean your hair stays cleaner for longer, and also washing it less just means your natural oils can come out and moisturize your scalp and your hair. And I think a lot of people forget that the scalp is also skin, so you don't want to over dry it too much, and washing it too much, putting too much product build up, it kind of just dries out the scalp. So tip number 3 is before you wash your hair, brush your hair. I use a tangle teaser, so it's less damaging, it doesn't pull on the hair. If you brush it when it's dry, then go wash it, you'll find that your hair is just a lot more smoother, and when your hair is nicely fresh and washed and wet, you don't need to like go through any knots because it's already nice and smooth. And when your hair is wet, you do not want to like pull. Ooh, my dog's just like doing something. Yeah, so when your hair is wet, that is when it's most fragile. You don't want to be combing out knots or combing out any kinks. It's better if your hair's already nice and smooth so that your comb just glides through it. And again, for my wet hair I use a wet tangle teaser. Tangle teasers are the only brushes that I use unless I'm styling my hair. Then I'll use a comb for like back combing or something, but otherwise I always use a tangle teaser. So tip number 4 is when your hair is wet and it's in a towel, pat the hair instead of rubbing. I used to rub my hair like crazy. I used to just like, you know, when you take your towel out and then you just like do that to your hair with the towel, that causes friction. And what friction does is, if your hair is weak already, or if you have any like split ends or damaged hair, it's gonna break and it's gonna snap because of all that friction and all that rubbing that you're doing. So instead, just use your towel and squeeze it out and then pat, pat, pat. This makes a big difference. Like I said, when your hair is wet, it's really fragile, so you need to be really careful with it. So another tip is to use the right shampoo and conditioner. I know it's very tempting to go into the drugstore and see whatever is on offer and buy that, but it's important that you always choose the shampoo and conditioner that suits your hair type. So I always go for the color treated shampoo and conditioners, or the very dry extremely fragile hair, because my hair is processed, and even though it looks nice and silky, it is prone to damage because, you know, it's just been bleached before, and that's just the natural state of bleached hair. It's just a lot more fragile. So always choose the right shampoo and conditioner. Don't be tempted by the one that's not for your hair type but it's on offer. Treat your hair products like skincare. You wouldn't just pick up any skincare, even if it's not for you. If you have dry skin, you wouldn't be using something for oily skin, and use that kind of concept and take it into hair care as well. So my next tip is choose your hair tools wisely. There's a lot of hair tools out there, especially like the Dyson Airwrap, the Babyliss Big Hair. There's a lot of blow drying brushes that you can get now, which are quite popular, and cut down your time of heated products. So before, I would blow dry my hair for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and then straighten it for another 5 or 10 minutes. Instead, what I do now is use the Dyson Airwrap and then use the brush attachment. So when my hair is slightly damp, because I always do my makeup first, that's another tip as well, try and let your hair air dry as much as you can. If you don't need to style it, just let it air dry completely. It will make a ton of difference. But if you do need to dry it and you do need to head out the door and you need to be somewhere, then use a hair tool that does 2-in-1. Because what I've realised now, that instead of using 25 minutes of heat just styling my hair, I can do it in 10 minutes. So what I do is use the Dyson Airwrap, and it's a hairdryer but a styler at the same time. So as you're styling your hair, as you're smoothing and straightening your hair, it's actually drying it at the same time as well. And that is what I use today. So no straighteners on my hair, no hairdryer, just the Dyson Airwrap with the flat brush tool. Yeah, and then it just, you know, you're cutting down your time, you're cutting down your heated styling time, and yeah, it's just a lot quicker and a lot better for your hair as well. So my next tip is to use scrunchies instead of hair ties. I only ever use hair ties when I'm trying to create a specific hairstyle and it needs a lot of hold. Otherwise, when I'm just out and about, or if I need to tie my hair up at home, I use a scrunchie and tie it so it's nice and secure but not too tight. Because when you tie your hair too tight and you're pulling on your hair, that's creating a lot of damage on the scalp because you're pulling and tugging your scalp. Tie it so it's nice and tidy and it's up out of your face but not too tight. The elastic hairbands, those can cause a lot of damage, even though it doesn't feel like it. When you pull out your elastic hair tie, it actually takes a few hairs with it. I'm pretty sure you've noticed that. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to me as well, especially if you have dry, damaged hair. And that's the last thing you want. You don't want to be taking, even though it might be like 3 or 4 hair strands, if you're doing that twice a day, every single day, like, you're losing a lot of hair. You want to keep your scalp nice and healthy, and that's how your hair is going to grow nice and healthy. No pressure on the scalp, no tugging, no extra hair loss, unnecessary hair loss. Just use a scrunchie instead. So whilst I'm on the topic of scrunchies, my tip would be always to tie your hair up when you're going to sleep. This causes less friction. Again, like I said, friction just causes a lot of kind of breakage. So if your hair's weak already and you're like sleeping and you're rubbing it around, it's gonna like snap and it's gonna fall off, and it's gonna cause just unnecessary damage. Instead, I like to tie it up in a ponytail, again in a loose scrunchie, so that it's secure and it doesn't fall out but not too tight. Or even better, loop it up and put it in a top knot, so your hair's not on your pillow. So when you sleep and you're moving around, you're not rubbing on your pillow. Or you can invest in one of the silk pillows, which is a lot kinder on the hair and the scalp. It's not as dry as cotton kind of like pillowcases. And yeah, that is something that I always do. I never ever sleep with my hair down. Another tip is to trim your hair. I know that when you're trying to grow your hair, the last thing you want to do is cut it, but when you have split ends or if your hair is dry or damaged, you really don't want it weighing your hair down, and those split ends slowly travel upwards, so your hair gets more and more damaged. If you see a split end, cut it off. It doesn't mean you have to cut your whole hair off. It could be just like a few strands. If you're just like sitting watching TV or something, and you see a split end, just use some hair scissors and cut it off. Even if you just grab your hair and then you do that, you can normally see the split ends popping up. See, I can see a couple, and those are probably the ones that I would just like use scissors and trim off, so that there's no further damage traveling upwards towards, you know, the rest of my hair. So my last tip is to take vitamins. It could be a multivitamin, or it could be a vitamin specifically for skin, hair and nails. I honestly do think they work. I take a multivitamin. I'll put a picture on the screen of which one I take, and I also drink collagen shots as well daily. I'm not sure whether that contributes to like hair growth or good healthy hair, because that's more for the skin, but having said that, your scalp is your skin, so I'm guessing it does do some sort of difference. I remember when my skin and my hair was at its best ever when I was pregnant, and that's not just a pregnancy glow. A lot of people have a pregnancy glow or healthy skin and healthy hair because of what they're taking, because pregnant women take supplements like folic acid, and folic acid honestly for skin and hair, it's amazing. But having said that, if you're not pregnant, I'm not sure how much you're meant to take. Look that up. I'm not a professional on that kind of thing, but do look into vitamins and supplements for hair, especially if you want it to grow healthy and grow a lot quicker. So that's my tips and tricks for growing healthy long hair. Even though it's coloured, it's chemically damaged, it's been through a lot, but it is possible, guys, to grow your hair fast and nice and healthy. As you can see, my roots are actually already coming out quite a bit, and I had my hair coloured like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, just do little daily steps that encourage growth. And also scalp massage. I forgot to mention scalp massages. When you're putting in your conditioner or a hair mask, give your scalp a really good massage and stimulate the roots and the oils, like just, you know, make it, scalp massages are good anyways. So if you've got conditioner or hair masking, just do that very gently. You don't want to be like rough and, you know, create friction, but do it nice and gently and just stimulate the scalp and bring, you know, the blood flow to the scalp. So I hope you found this video useful. These are just my small daily things that I do, but I genuinely believe that if you make a habit out of these small habits, then, you know, it just becomes a daily norm. Let me know down below if you have any tips or tricks that you want to share with other people, and let's make the comments a positive place of sharing tips and helping each other. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and until my next video, I shall see you guys soon. Bye guys. Mwah.